All right, guys, we're here in Perth. And there's 5 minutes to go. Unbelievable turnout. I don't think Perth has been this awake since the last time I was in town. Guys, share it around, share it with the world. This is the final rally across the country for Tommy Robinson, for freedom of speech. Let the world know, let Tommy's family know, let Brits know. We stand with them. We stand for freedom of speech. Share it with everyone. Perth, make some noise! If it dies on you, just power off, power on, and it'll reset. Any problems, see me. Move around and kind of get a better.
Hey, Tommy, Tommy!
So we've got about 5 minutes till we're officially starting. But look at this, I love it. Well, I want to get the ground rules down, because whenever I go, Tommy, 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 because we're in Australia, I need the whole crowd to give us an oi, oi, oi. We'll test it before the rally starts. Tommy, Tommy, Tommy! Tommy, Tommy, Tommy! 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 Yeah, I reckon you got it. I reckon Perth is giving Sydney a run for their money. I reckon Sydney. What is that? As you should. I was afraid. I heard there was some big game on and nobody's going to come out, and Perth people are... Nice. Who said that there's a group walking? Who told me there's a group walking here?
Hey!
Hey, Tommy, Tommy!
Tommy, 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 Tommy Robinson!
Let's say my voice.
Hey, Tommy, Tommy! Tommy, 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 Tommy Robinson! Hey, Tommy, Tommy! Tommy, 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 Tommy Robinson! Hey, Tommy, Tommy! Oi, oi! Tommy, 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 Tommy Robinson!
No. Somebody told me a group of...
We want Tommy out! 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 We want Tommy out!
Look at this energy, we haven't even started. I love Perth.
We want Tommy out! We want Tommy out! Oi!
Alright guys, I know I put Brisbane in the title. I haven't slept for a few days. Don't blame me. It's actually Perth. And because I've just said that, I've been out and I'm probably going to get lynched. We're in Perth. I'll fix up the title at the end. Sorry guys. I didn't mean to call you whatever. Alright guys, I reckon we're going to start. I know there's a group that might be walking here, they can join us. Guys, welcome and thank you so much for coming here to stand with Tommy, to stand with freedom of speech, to stand with our own victims, Sonia Kruger, and all the victims of blasphemy laws around the world. Thank you. It is a Sunday. I know everybody has better things to do? There we go, that's the attitude. But now for 2 days, this is the final stop on our journey. We're in Perth. I'm sorry about the label. We're in Perth. We've travelled the Australian Liberty Alliance, the team, so we've got Debbie, Ralph. We've come Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, Perth with a megaphone, a bunch of signs, and no peanuts on the flight. Now, but every spot, everywhere we stopped, the crowds have been unbelievable. Aussies have been coming out. The fake news reported on our first day that dozens came out. Well, my live feeds don't lie. We had hundreds at every single rally. Hundreds. Country are sending. In fact, people across the Western world are sending thousands hitting the streets for Tommy, but not just for Tommy. Tommy's a symptom of a larger problem. The message is clear. We are willing to fight today to protect our freedoms, our fundamental freedoms, freedom of speech, freedom of press, so we don't lose them tomorrow. Because right now, because we are leading a dangerous road. Do you think it's just Britain? No. Sonia Kruger is being dragged through the courts. Sonia Kruger is being dragged through the courts because she dared to have an opinion that 75% of Australians agree with on Muslim, on Islamic immigration. Dragged through the courts. That, my friends, is the start of in implementing blasphemy laws. And Australia says no. Tommy, Tommy, Tommy! Tommy, Tommy, Tommy! 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 Alright, I'm going to introduce to you now Debbie. Oh no, I'm going crazy. I'm implying that I didn't start crazy. My mum may disagree with that. Guys, we're going to start like we do every rally with the Australian anthem for the best country in the world. It says, we are young and free. And I will defend that till the end. I'm staying young and I'm staying free.
Thank you, Army. Army is my new son. We've had lots of fun travelling. But as you know, Tommy is a victim of a corrupt system in the UK, and he's been fighting for years to expose Islam and the impact of Sharia, and he's in trouble for reporting on a barbaric Muslim child rape gang. Now, Tommy is a man of integrity. He's sacrificing his family, his life, for the love of his country, and he's a hero, and he's doing a great service for Britain that no one else is doing. And I first met Tommy Robinson at an international counter-jihad rally way back in 2012 in Stockholm. And we went there to discuss what was happening in our countries and give talks to everyone. And on the day of that rally, we were surrounded by police vans, police in riot gear, mounted police, but not because we were the violent ones, but because there were hundreds of bloodthirsty demonstrators aggressively doing everything they could, including throwing a Molotov cocktail at us, to break through the barricades, attack and silence us. I met Tommy again. I met Tommy again in New York that same year at another conference, and we had a chat about what's going on in Britain, and he felt that it was hard there because there's nothing there to support them. He was on his own, there wasn't much support, there was no organisations, because I was there as a rep of Pew Society. And I said it back then, and I'll say it again now, that we need to support him and everything he's trying to do. And over the years, as a result of those events, our group here, we've organised lots of meetings and international events to raise awareness about all the problems that we're facing. And the tour that we did with Wielders in 2014 was an eye-opener and made us realise that there's huge problems in this country with political correctness, and that's one of the reasons we formed Australian Liberty Alliance, because it's not enough anymore just to highlight problems. It's time to act, and that's what we're doing. So we have to take a political stand and be agents for change. Because, like all the people that do this work around the world, you're vilified, threatened and abused, but make no mistake, the more we are opposed, the more we will fight. It just gives us more inspiration to keep going. And just take a look at some of the banners we've got here today, with the names of people who've been murdered or have to live under police protection for speaking out or for criticising Islam, like Ayn Ali, the Dutch politician Kim Fortuyn, the filmmaker Theo van Gogh, and all the people that were murdered at Charlie Hebdo for drawing a bloody cartoon. And to sentence someone like Salman Rushdie to death for writing a book, that is barbaric. And it's all because Islamic Sharia law, under Islamic Sharia law, criticism of Islam is forbidden. It's forbidden. And the most disturbing thing about all this is that our government, our political leaders, and taxpayer-funded groups like the Human Rights Commission, your taxes go to pay all these people, together with our media, they're all part of the problem. And I'm going to give you an example of what Kevin Rudd did in 2012. I don't know if people know this. He brought Professor Isanoglu, who's a member of the OIC, to this country to lecture Australians on Islamophobia. He got 2 gigs at the National Press Club. I couldn't get Geert Wilders a room there. And he also spoke at Griffith University, and I listened to him speak. Now, if you look at what the OIC is all about, they have 56 Islamic countries that do not stand by the
Universal Declaration?
Yeah, the universal, whatever. Human rights.
Tell me this week, it's
Yes.
next week.
Okay, I'm
And then
finished.
the rest of it.
Yeah, sure.
Stand up, you're
Yeah,
right. This is bullshit.
We are. And the OIC's headquartered in Saudi Arabia, and their members have got their own version of the human rights called the Cairo Declaration. And Kevin bloody Rudd brought this guy to Australia and promoted him.
Shame.
You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Our Labour Minister Chris Bowen stops visas for elected members of democracies like Geert Wilders, but fast-tracks them for sheiks. Sheiks from the Kuwaiti Muslim Brotherhood get a visa in 48 hours. I've listened to these bastards speak at our universities, and our government's encouraging them to come here. That was the Labor government at the time. And mainstream media makes it worse by not reporting the truth, not saying anything at all, or whitewashing Islam. And in this country, we've got the most ridiculous hate speech laws. We have a blasphemy law in Victoria. They've just introduced another one in New South Wales. And we've got our own heroes in this country. We've got Andrew Bolt, who was dragged through the courts.
Yes, yes.
We have the late Bill Leak, the same problem with cartoons. We've got the students from Queensland University of Technology. All of these people are being dragged through courts for exercising their right to free speech. Believe you me, we are going the wrong way. It's turning into a totalitarian state. And now we've got Sonia Kruger facing a court case in New South Wales because of a Muslim man who is a serial litigator. He's taken Alan Jones to court for years. He's had a long-running vilification case against Alan Jones. Now he's doing it to Sonia Kruger because she said we should stop Muslim immigration. Well, guess what? So we should, and everyone agrees with her. But if you're a friend of Hamas, let me tell you about that, or you represent the Islamic Council of Victoria, or you're a visiting Islamic preacher, or you're a member of Hizb ut-Tahrir, you can have all the venues you want in this country. Nobody will say a thing, nobody will stop you. And a few weeks ago, Avi and I and all of us were in Melbourne. We ran a pro-Israel rally against, we stood opposite a pro-Palestinian rally, okay? A peaceful demonstration to support Israel. Guess who was picked up and moved on? We were. They're the ones, our real masters, or the masters are the ones that you can't bloody criticise and people are too afraid to speak up about. But guess what? We've got to stop it. We've got to stop it. We've got to take a stand.
They are the true Nazis.
Absolutely. So we're facing all the same issues in this country that Britain is facing. And that's why we're here today, to highlight the plight of Tommy Robinson in the hope that he be set free and let it be known we will never stop fighting. I'm nearly done, and I'll give it back to the rock star.
Your son.
I'll give it back to my son. Listen, I just want to say to you that freedom is something our forefathers fought, bled, and died for. It is the most valuable thing we possess. And I'm going to finish with this quote. Freedom is the single most precious prerequisite to a dignified human existence, especially the first freedom, the freedom from which all other freedoms flow, and that is freedom of speech. Thank you for coming. I love you all. This is Perth, my hometown. It's so great to be back. I'll hand you back to Avi.
She made in the story a few weeks ago, because I think this highlights the problem in our country and the direction we're going. A few weeks ago, we were literally opposing an Islamist rally where thousands of pro-Hamas Islamists, people, if you don't know what Hamas is, they share the same charter as ISIS. They talk about killing the infidels, killing the Jews. We went to oppose them peacefully. But the police moved us on. Their excuse was it was for our safety. So the police, the new excuse for taking away our freedoms is for our own good. I call bullshit. The time has come that even if it is harder to take on the other side, we do it now. Because it might be hard now, but it'll be impossible later. So join us today, because when you speak up, they love to label you. That's why I wear my kippah today. I am not a religious Jew. I'm a proud Jew because many died for me to be here today. I am proud about what Jews give this world. If my heritage didn't give so much to this world, a bit like other cultures, I probably would be less proud. But I wear this because often at rallies, you get these feral mutts on the side that start shouting out, and they love to call me a Nazi. And I want to let you guys know, I want to show you that they call me a Nazi. No matter how ironic it is, they will call me that. So forget it. Don't worry about being labelled a Nazi. Unless you're really a Nazi. If you're really a Nazi, you're a fucking idiot. Let's just get that clear.
The left accused.
And don't pretend to be a patriot because the Anzacs fought Hitler, you idiots. But the point is, don't be afraid to stand for what is right because you're scared. The only way they can defeat us is when they pick us off one by one. When they take off Tommy, when they take off Sonia, when they take off Gert, when they take off one by one. But if all of us, as the polls showed, 75% of Australians agreed with Sonia Kruger. The problem is, people are not voicing it enough. Be loud, be proud, yes. Yes, it may affect your job in the beginning. But when the whole country's doing it, there's nothing they can do about it. So stand proud. Today there's an amazing crowd here. There's been amazing crowds across the country. But next time I'm here, bring a friend. Bring two friends. Let's show them that in Australia we're not going to wait till it is as far gone as the UK. We are going to stop it now. Hey, Tommy! Tommy, 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 Tommy Robinson! Hey, Tommy, Tommy! Tommy, 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 Tommy Robinson! Hey, Tommy, Tommy! Tommy, 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 Tommy Robinson! Come on, you get a better friend! Hey, Tommy, Tommy! Tommy, 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 Tommy Robinson!
This is all about free speech. And where are we getting started? We're getting started with the United Nations, where it all comes back to. We've got to stop United Nations running our country. I didn't see them on the election ballot. Did you see United Nations? How do they tell us how many refugees we're going to take?
All right, guys. The next we're going to have now a local Senate. You introduce her.
Everyone knows Marion, and Marion ran as the second candidate in the federal election in WA. So welcome, Marion. She's got a few words to say. She's just been in Britain, and she's going to let you know what's happening there.
Right. Can you hear me? My husband and I have just returned from what is no longer a United Kingdom. In fact, it's totally broken up altogether. The average British citizen is a dhimmi. They just accept Islam. They just accept Sharia. No one will speak up. And when, of course, Tommy Robinson supporters and he speak up, they are vilified. While in the UK, I was lucky enough to have some encounters with the British elite. Namely, a judge, a QC, a countess, and a writer for an international magazine, and a number of other people. And when I raised the problems of Islam and their wonderful Lord Mayor, and by the way, the elites think their London City Khan Mayor is absolutely wonderful. I asked about the Rotherham girls. Oh, but they weren't nice girls, implying that they deserved it. That is vile. And this is the British elite. I can't speak about the Australian elite, but I would say they are probably exactly the same. They are grossly ignorant about
I'll say it,
Islam,
they are.
and they are lazy. You are not ignorant. You are informed, and you are not lazy. You're not indolent. You're active. You are out there and speaking. And speak on. Thank you, Marion.
So, to touch on that, what was Tommy's big crime? Why is he sitting 13 months in jail?
For telling the truth.
For telling the truth. Why is Sonia being dragged through the courts? What's the common denominator here? The truth happened to be about Islam. I want to explain to you something. We should be able, and you know what, not should be, we have to criticize Islam. It is a barbaric cult. Okay? But you can criticize any religion. You can criticize Judaism. I don't care. And no one's going to behead you. You're not going to see any rabbi calling for your murder. Today, if you criticize Christianity, you're probably going to get a plaque in Parliament. So, why is there a double standard? Why are we introducing blasphemy laws even here in Australia? The time has come to repeal 18C and all the local state race hate laws, because free speech needs to be just that. Absolutely free. When we talk about incitement to violence, I have a problem there. But I want to see our system actually charging those who incite violence. Every Friday in any mosque. Let's start there. Yeah.
I just got a tiny Robinson. This is my long-suffering husband. Would like to just say a few words to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my hero and my wife, and she's given me 5 minutes, which is 4 minutes. Sorry, but anyway, I'm going to make a. That's right. I'm going to once more thank everyone for coming, and I'm going to put this to you: that I've never, ever heard of a situation where someone can be arrested, charged, and the hearing carried out, and then put in jail in 5 hours. 5 hours! Boom! That is wrong. And on top of that, they say you've got to keep it quiet. Got to keep it quiet, because we might upset a certain group of people. Boom! That is a situation which is like a PB. It's a personal best in so-called law. I bet you the Chinese are going, wow, that is fantastic. The Russians do it. And I'm sure the people in those countries in the Middle East will love it too. But I want to go on and talk about freedom of thought and freedom of expression. I went to a university, and the university taught you how to think. That doesn't happen now. What happens is the Ramsay Foundation have gone and they've paid for a course in Western society, in Westernism. And what's happened? It's the students have come along, the Students' Union have said no. The tail of the dog has wagged the head. And that meant that the vice-chancellors of all these universities have bowed to their demands, and they've become cowards. And they've become people who won't stand up for freedom and for freedom of expression. That is wrong. That is inherent in our society. We spent 2,000 years getting to this stage. Why are we going to go back? Why are we going to go back to Islam? Why are we going back to communism? No. The answer is no. An Australian Liberty Alliance will stand up and we will go no, no, no. We're on the steps at the moment, but one day we'll be in Parliament and we'll say no there. And if Malcolm Turnbull, Bill Shorten and the Greens who are soft in the head, if they think they've got a problem now, you just wait in the future, because we're going to stand up for Western society ideals, because it's the best society we've ever had in the world. It gets better and better and better. We're not going to go back to a situation where the book says men are in charge of women, where it says, may I destroy Christians and Jews, where it says that if you're a non-believer, you'll die, you'll be destroyed with total destruction. That is wrong, and we've got a perfect right to say that in Australia. I've gone over 4 minutes, and I've been told. So I hand it over to my wife. Hey, Tommy! Tommy Robinson! Hey, Tommy Robinson! Hey, Tommy Robinson! So we're here today to stand, and there's so many of you here to stand for what is right. And I have a good feeling. I was worried that this weekend I was going to be pretty lonely in a few places. And there's a hope yet for Australia. If any of you watched last night, the live feed in Britain, they had 20,000 people on the street. There's no reason why we don't have that in Australia. The only reason why Aussies aren't coming out by the thousands like that is because they don't think it's going to get here. You, all of you that have come here today, you need to go back and make sure that your friendship circle, your family, they realise where we're heading. Because having 20,000 after the fact is nowhere near as good as having 20,000 before. And the plan is to get 20,000 on the street telling our government that we will not accept losing our freedoms. Not the freedom of speech or the freedom of press. Now, I know Tommy's family's watching this, and I know you've seen the rallies across the country. You've seen Australia. Yeah, you got it. We'll cut this one up for later. You've seen, altogether, we've had over, there's got to be 1,500 altogether.
We've had hundreds, not dozens, hundreds at every rally.
The media reported they had 20,000 in Britain, and the media said hundreds. So I'm okay with the dozens we got.
The MSM
As you can see across the country, Aussies stood up for Tommy. They stand with your family. We feel your pain. Because we look at you, you're a hero for us. You're someone that has guts, that has the power that's, you know, you're probably about my height. Nothing to be ashamed of, Tommy. But you stand for what is right. And if every single person can just become a little bit of Tommy, our future will be bright. Yeah. Because the fact is, I am, you are, we're all Tommy. Tommy, Tommy, Tommy! Tommy, Tommy, Tommy! Tommy! Tommy!
Tommy, Tommy!
We're going to end it off now. I want to thank again everyone for coming here today. Thank you to Debbie, my new mum, who has backed, you know, I've been with the Australian Liberty Alliance for a couple of months now. And every time I wake up every morning, I see something and it pisses me off, like everybody. And I get straight on the phone, I'm like, Debbie, and she's already rolled up. And she's 2 hours behind in Perth. But every time she says, let's do it. And this one is even more because it's personal. Debbie's known Tommy for years longer than anybody, years before it was cool.
And when I first met him and came back and talked about him, people said, oh, you shouldn't be associating with him. But you can see what he's done. I could see it then. He's a man of integrity. And I'll say it again, everything you've heard about him in the past is not right. It's fake news.
He's a hero, not a villain. And we need to set Tommy free and drop all this rubbish against Sonia Kruger and get our country back on track.
Apathy will do nothing for our children. This is our children and our grandchildren's future.
Exactly.
You know what? It's not even our children and our children, it's our future, because look how quickly it goes down. The UK in 20 years, and I plan to still be alive in Australia in 20 years, unless I get shot by an Islamist on the way to Perth to the airport. But it is going to happen so quickly.
Parts of Sydney. That's why we moved here.
Yep. I can't walk through the Kemba. Can you imagine? There are parts of Australia where if I walk down it, I will be killed. Now that will be the rest of our country if we don't hurry up and fix this now. Last chat before we end up. Anybody that... Oh no, we don't need... They can keep...
Oh, we want the signs back. Do we? Yeah, maybe. We'll have them back.
Unless you want to put it on your wall.
There might be another time to do another rally. We don't know what's going to happen.
All right, bring
in
it back
the next
so we
few
have
weeks. So if our signs, can we have them back? And thank you very much.
You never know what's going to happen tomorrow. We wake up.
And we're going to do more of this stuff out on the street and get more people involved. So thank you so much for giving up your time this afternoon and coming here. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks,
and you guys at home, share it around. When you get home, let people know you were part of this. You were part of the thousands and thousands and thousands across the globe that stood up for what is right, weren't ashamed to get labelled, and will hopefully be part of the solution, fixing our country back up. Hey, Tommy!
Tommy, 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 Tommy Robinson!
Louder, louder!
Hey, Tommy, Tommy! Tommy, 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 Tommy Robinson! Hey, Tommy, Tommy! Tommy, 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 Tommy Robinson! Hey, Tommy, Tommy! Tommy, 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 Tommy Robinson!
Hey, well done, guys. We love you, Tommy. Share it around. There you go. You can end it up. And this is the guy who filmed it. You can press the end live. Champion, guys. Make sure to share it. You just press finish.